Cold and hungry riots are starting in Moscow and the regions.
Putin wanted to freeze Ukraine, but people are freezing right under his nose. Moscow, St. Petersburg, the Moscow region, Murmansk, Severomorsk, Omsk, Petersburg, and dozens of other cities.
Pashtin, Switzerland. We are miserable people.
A utilities collapse has engulfed the entire country on the eve of February.
People are sitting without heating, water, or electricity.
I reside here. My child is shivering from the cold. In
the middle of winter, with temperatures at -20 and -30.
Russia is freezing.
This is not a natural disaster. This is the direct cost of war.
What is even happening here? What happened here was a special military operation.
Meanwhile, the Kremlin and Russian propagandists are all shouting in unison about endurance.
Endure it, because that's the price of war.
War is an expensive business. War is not free.
Because we are all paying for this war, for the special operation. Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich,
this is a cry from the heart. Turning off YouTube, turning off Instagram, turning off WhatsApp. We are not fucking North Korea, damn it. We are Russia, for fuck's sake. In reality, the country is collapsing into a wild economic crisis, into that very same stagflation.
Russia is being swept by mass protests?
Are you out of your mind? You've lost your mind? Do you understand, authorities?
How is this even possible today?
War. It is always war.
Moscow, Petersburg, the regions.
It turns into a vicious circle. It's like you gave everything with one hand and took it all away from the people with the other. You abandoned authorities. You abandoned our people. You abandoned them, just abandoned them. We are declaring a hunger strike.
Moscow is completely buried under snow.
Snow drifts up to 60 centimeters, twice the normal climate average.
The city has come to a standstill. Trucks are stuck and blocking the entrances to the capital.
This is it. All these trucks are standing, trying to get into Moscow. Well, really, the road to Moscow is blocked. Such a traffic jam. It's impossible to get into Moscow right now.
Leningradskoye, Gorkovskoye, Domodedovskoye highways.
Multi-kilometer traffic jams.
Now our lane has cleared, we're moving. And here, everything is just standing still and standing and standing.
People are stuck for 5 or 6 hours without moving.
Muscovites are getting out of buses and pushing them by hand.
In the Roman residential complex, people.
They're pushing buses out of snowdrifts just to get to work.
And on the MCAT, people are abandoning their cars and walking in crowds.
Everyone's going uphill like this, and we're all walking together on foot. Everything here is completely at a standstill.
It's faster this way than waiting for the system to start moving. What is even going on?
I want to show you the conditions we live in thanks to our wonderful management company. It's pretty creepy. It's pitch dark on Sverdlova, same thing.
Meanwhile, in Moscow, there's a real snow collapse and an explosion at the power plant.
Here it is, take a look. For the first time, 2 districts in Moscow have plunged into a blackout.
The Moscow suburbs are a whole different reality.
People are waiting at bus stops for an hour.
There are 2 lines.
One for those standing and another for those hoping to get a seat.
It's getting worse and worse. Everything is shaking. The situation is difficult. Honestly, we're looking to the future without optimism.
In Omsk, the first protests and riots have started.
-28 degrees, hundreds of homes without heating, electricity, or warmth for weeks.
Water is pouring out, boiling hot. There was no frost, but there was nothing to breathe. Now it's just winter in our stairwell. The boiler room itself is in a terrible state inside.
The freezing residents of Omsk staged a protest.
They blocked the roadway at the site of the pipe burst.
The traffic police find them.
Let there be a traffic jam. People are all freezing and the administration does nothing, said the protesting residents.
And it's the same in cities all across Russia.
You abandoned us, the authorities. You abandoned our people. You abandoned us, just abandoned us. We are not honest people. It turns into a vicious circle. It's like on the one hand you gave us all this, and with the other hand you took everything away from the people. I'm so afraid of what's happening in our country right now, especially this moment of poverty. We are setting an example for everyone of how not to live and how not to survive. I constantly remember Andrei Dmitrievich Sakharov and his words. To save humanity, it would have been necessary to drop an atomic bomb on the Kremlin. They have no homes.
They have no homes, the money is gone.
In the Kursk region, the payments of 65,000 rubles to refugees were cancelled.
People went out to the administration building.
Dear Vladimir Vladimirovich, we have been left without our homes and other property. We had to seek shelter in other cities and villages. The decision by the government of the Russian Federation this December to cancel the monthly payments of 65,000 rubles has caused despair for the majority of residents in the border areas of the Kursk region.
Penza pickets because of internet shutdowns.
Moscow and St. Petersburg as well.
Internet and communication outages, nothing works. WhatsApp has been slowed down by 70 to 80%. They're preparing to block it.
Russia is turning into a total concentration camp.
War, hunger strikes.
Yes, and this will all end badly.
But this is not the end yet.
A total devastating blow to Russian energy infrastructure.
Power plants have been blown up from the Moscow region to Orenburg.
Guys, good evening. The city was just shelled 3 times. Well, here we are, driving up to the house, and there's this kind of debris lying around. There's heavy shelling going on in Shemyakina. Yeah, that's right. Huh? Shemyakina, yeah.
That's it.
Russia is freezing.
Moscow region, the cities of Zhukovsky and Chekhov. Residents are writing that their rooms are like ice boxes.
Tomorrow it'll be minus 25.
Several towns near Moscow have been left without heating just before a severe cold snap.
St. Petersburg.
For more than a day, there was no heating in some areas, including the city center, the Fontanka district.
It's pretty creepy.
Now we're about to be without electricity too.
There are explosions going off. Basically, they're bombing as we speak. New blackouts, people are panicking, there's no electricity, no heating, we're barely surviving. It's creepy. On Ivchenko Street, as you drive, it's pitch dark. On Sverdlova, it's the same story.
The Kremlin is in a panic, a power plant near Moscow is exploding, and the Ukrainian armed forces are knocking out the energy infrastructure.
They hit the same building again. Unbelievable fuck. Looks like I won't be going to work for the next week or two. There's just nothing in the Moscow region.
3 floors.
Muscovites are freezing and shouting.
My child is freezing.
The city of Engels.
Residents are complaining about a catastrophic situation with heating and hot water.
By the way, it's from there that Russia launches planes that strike Ukraine's energy facilities.
Karma in action. Since January 13th, we've had an emergency situation.
There's been a complete shutdown of hot water and heating.
The boiler room itself is in a terrible state inside.
In the Moscow region, there's an icy collapse. Zhukovsky, for example, dozens of buildings have been without heating, electricity, and hot water for a second day.
It's minus 30 outside. The apartment walls are icy and pipes are bursting.
The heating centers aren't working.
In Murmansk and Severomorsk, at the headquarters of the Russian Federation's Northern Fleet.
A total blackout and evacuation. They were without power and heat for almost a week. On social media, it's now being spread that warming centers and phone charging stations are open.
I really want to get some hot water because unfortunately we have electric stoves.
Oops, the door is locked.
We've been tricked. The cities of Murmansk, Severomorsk, Severodvinsk.
A major accident.
Minus 20.
The temperature in the apartments is +6 and +8 degrees.
Power line ruptures.
The city's plunged into darkness.
40% of public transport stopped running.
Hospitals switched to backup diesel generators. One of the pharmacists told local journalists.
People were buying everything.
Candles, matches, thermoses, field rations.
They were asking if we had any kerosene lamps.
Murmansk is without power.
Blizzards and ice brought down the power line supports.
The Severomorsk district and Murmansk are without electricity, communication, or heating.
This is just our district.
Where is there supposed to be light everywhere?
Here we have the city of Murmansk, Leninsky district. 6 p.m. the district is shut off.
No lights, nothing at all. The stores aren't working.
A state of emergency has been declared at the main base of Russia's Northern Fleet. Evacuation is underway.
Putin is facing a catastrophe.
If there is still anyone alive, if anyone survived, I can give you food.
The armed forces of Ukraine are blowing up power plants in the Moscow region, Belgorod, Bryansk, Kursk, Oryol, and Taganrog. The bathhouse just collapsed, damn it. Belgorod, Bryansk, Orenburg, Orsk, power plants and substations are under attack.
I'm screwed. The second one is jumping in a row, damn it.
Unbelievable.
500,000 Russians are without power or heat.
A total freeze.
There's a humanitarian catastrophe in Belgorod.
The city was shelled 3 times just now, and as we're approaching home, there's this kind of mess lying here.
The armed forces of Ukraine carried out the most massive shelling of Belgorod since the start of the war using HIMARS rockets.
we experienced a real, almost total blackout.
That is, the entire city and part of the region were literally plunged into darkness.
In the Belgorod region, there's no electricity, no water, no heat, and even the generators aren't working.
It's necessary to get a generator for yourself.
I understand that people have different incomes, and not every family can do this.
The war correspondent says the ring around Moscow is tightening.
There's no electricity, no water, in fact, nothing at all.
So far, nothing has been restored, and it's unclear what will happen next.
A very difficult period has begun.
And the protection of one's own home, of course, is largely in your own hands.
I passed by our rather large shopping street. Lots of stores, pizzerias, fast food places, you know, just like everywhere else.
But nothing is working.
There's no electricity anywhere at all.
Right now I went into the metro to get some water. I'm curious if there's any left or not.
Judging by the dim lighting, this shopping center is quite large. It's running on a generator. I'm curious, the traffic lights aren't working, but are the cameras still monitoring traffic or not? A total blackout and systemic collapse in Russia.
What's happening with food prices?
What are we going to eat?
Pasta with water?
I'm just curious, how long will the products in stores keep shrinking while the price tags keep getting fatter?
Things I had to give up in 2026 because they became too expensive.
Like cucumbers for 330 rubles, not even per kilogram.
And on Avito, stores are closing in droves, people are selling their businesses, and they're not even shy about it. They openly write that it's because of the VAT increase.
In Moscow, the richest region of Russia, the question isn't whether to close or not, the question is when to close.
We have a small family business, a bakery.
We fully understand that the country is in a difficult situation.
We understand that raising taxes is a necessity.
The first thing is money.
Budget money. As we've already said, there is a severe shortage of budget funds.
And the shortage will only get worse.
It's just like how he orchestrated Maduro's abduction.
Why wouldn't special forces just fly to Neglinaya and kidnap the head of the central bank?
Russia is facing economic and energy collapse. There is total devastation there, for which Putin, the Kremlin, and the Russian murderers who are destroying Ukraine are responsible. Kyiv and other cities in Ukraine are freezing because Putin and his cronies are launching missiles and drones at Ukraine.
The Moscow region, St. Petersburg, and other Russian cities are freezing because Putin,
along with his Kremlin associates, he is launching missiles and drones at Ukraine instead of spending those billions of dollars to repair his own heating systems, sewage, power plants, boiler rooms, and elevators.
One wants to say, the silent, obedient herd is freezing in their homes all across Russia.
But there is one big but.
A population that has chosen a criminal as its leader is not his victim.
It is his accomplice.
And
I constantly remember Andrei Dmitrievich Sakharov, whom I was fortunately acquainted with. I remember his words. To save humanity, the atomic bomb should have been dropped on the Kremlin.
Hello, my name is Valentina. I am a resident of the house at 43 Sovetskaya Street, Engels. This is an appeal to Alexander Ivanovich Bastrikin. We have had a problem since the beginning of the heating season, even since the start of December. We have an issue with the regulation of heating and hot water supply. Since January 13th, we have had an emergency situation. We have an LLC, Teplo Research, which services not only my building's address, but also in Volgogradsky Lane 1, Stepnaya 39, Stepnaya 37, Zeleny Lane 20, Petrovskaya 69, Elva Kosilia 20, Stepnaya 35A, which service other addresses in the city of Engels, and there are many of them, have faced the problem of hot water and heating being shut off. At all. Since January 13th for a whole week, it was 13 to 15 degrees in our apartment. And at most addresses, it's still the same. That is, the boiler houses were not started up. They're trying to get them running. According to Teploristers, I actually went to them in person. They're trying to get them started, but the problem, they say, is with the water utility and the energy companies, that is according to them.
Hello, esteemed Alexander Ivanovich Bastikin. I am reaching out to you as a resident of the city of Engels, Karina Galaika. At the moment, I am a resident of Engels, living at 13 Telman Street. We have a boiler house at 1 Volgogradsky Lane. The boilers which At this address, 1 Volgogradsky Lane, repairs are needed. There are supposed to be 3 boilers operating there. But at the moment, supposedly, as one of the administration heads explained to me, only 2 boilers are working there. Right now, I actually think that only 1 boiler is working at all. The boiler house itself is in a terrible state inside.
In short, there are probably a bunch of trucks here. I don't even know how many. It seems to me they stayed here overnight. Our lane finally cleared up, we started moving, and now everything is just at a standstill, not moving at all. There's just a little bit left, a turn, and then my house, but I have a feeling we're stuck here for another half hour or so.
Everyone's going uphill like this, and we're all walking together on foot. Everything here is completely at a standstill. These experienced ones, damn it, they're just like people.
See? Therefore, you should expect us to arrive by evening. It seems they are simply unable to make it up here.
That's where all the problems come from. Not a single car can make it up. Basically, there are probably a ton of trucks here. I don't even know how many.
I think they're staying here overnight.
Our lane finally cleared up and we started moving. And now everything is just at a standstill, not moving at all. Just a little bit left. Some turns my house, but I have a feeling it'll be another half.